When did you find out you were going to be called up to the main roster?
About 6 months after I got to OVW.
And was it always going to be as a tag team? Or?
Initially, I think it was supposed to be me and Lance Cade. We were tag teaming in OVW, and then we got brought up for dark matches together. But then the whole Iraqi war happened with the France pulling out, not wanting to support or whatever. It was a given. It was like a faith for me and Sylvain.
And Sylvain wasn't a wrestler before he was signed, right?
No.
What do you know what he was before? Is it
a Calvin Klein underwear model?
Calvin Klein underwear model.
A very well paid Calvin Klein underwear model.
And then he became friends with Pat Patterson.
Yes.
And Patterson took a liking to him, I guess, and got him a WWE contract. So did they kind of just throw you together, or did they send him to OVW for a while to?
Yeah, he was there maybe a couple of weeks. I remember going to a TV in Cincinnati, and Pat was like, I'd like to see what you two look together, see. That didn't pan out, but then when the whole Iraqi thing happened, it's like, hey, we got two French guys. Wrestling's timing, man. That's just the way it is.
What were the main differences that you first noticed between the WWE and OVW locker rooms?
WWE, there's money to be made. And when there's money to be made, there's competition. And when there's competition, there's, manipulation, backstabbing, all kinds of stuff.
And you worked with Scott Steiner when you first came in a bit. What was he like?
I always liked the guy. Not an easy guy to get to know. Not very personable. I heard stories of like WCW where he's a hothead and stuff. But he's the type of guy, if he saw bullshit, he wasn't scared to say it. You know what I mean? And sometimes in this business, you can't be that. You have to be more politically correct and professional. But I always got along great with Scott.
And you also did some angles that Stacy Keebler was involved with. What was she like to work with?
She's hot.
Were you? What did you think of her whole relationship with George Clooney that happened pretty soon after that?
God bless him.
And you won the WWE tag titles pretty quickly from Kane and Rob Van Dam. What was working with those two guys like?
Good. Rob sometimes would, he's an extremely talented individual. Over his hell too. Kane's a consummate professional. That's why he's been there for so long. Sometimes Van Dam throws those kicks a little wild, and one night he knocked me out for 5-6 hours. I don't know. I woke up in a different town, about 3 hours away.
Oh, so you knocked out? You were kind of out on your feet?
I was up, and the lights were on, but nobody was home, type of deal. Yeah.
At that time, did you know you were the only teenager in history to win a WWE championship?
I didn't even know. I didn't realize it. Yeah. You're going a million miles an hour, and at that time I was a different person. I had OCD, and it was like, okay, I won this belt. What's next? It's not like sit and smell the roses. It's go. At least that's the way it was back then.
When did they bring in Rob Conway, and why?
That came in shortly, maybe after 3 or 4 months. Me and Sly at the time were complete opposites. I was young and probably hard to deal with. And now looking back, I can realize it, you know what I mean? And Sly was a very laid back, at that time, individual. And we just didn't mesh. And brought in Conway, which was, the way they did it was very good. And then I got drafted to SmackDown, I think 2000, right after WrestleMania 20.